Hi, welcome to a new video. I wanted to do an energy update for the new moon in Cancer. And so first let me share a few of my thoughts about the new moon, about the energies that I feel. It's like this is one of the final kind of new moons or eclipses or things that has to do with the axis of Capricorn and Cancer. And so it's kind of a big deal. The new moon itself is also opposing Saturn in Capricorn. And so again, it's really highlighting that push and pull between kind of the mother and the father. The father being the long term, the perspective for the future, and the mother being the energy that we hold for the perspective of the future. And so I feel that this is really important to us on an individual level in terms of our purpose. It feels like it's going to become much more clear for a lot of us, how we hold our purpose in our lives, what our purpose really is. It feels like a time where we are purifying the kind of the perspective that we hold of our purpose. And so I did already pull some spirit cards, some animal spirit cards. We got the Scorpio together with the dragonfly. And so this is very interesting, it's showing me that there might be quite some emotional challenges around this time. It's almost like we're reaching this point of destiny in a sense. It's like there's a timeline separation. And so we're being tested, we're being pushed, it's like Saturn is putting pressure on us to see what it is that we really choose to stand for when we are experiencing that pressure. Are we that diamond that can reflect light even if we are kind of like in the middle of darkness? Or do we become swallowed by that darkness? And so it is a little bit of a somber energy. It's very much, the energy is very kind of transformative. And the energy is also quite challenging and dark, but the rewards are big, is what it feels like. So with the Scorpion, there can be this danger of reactivity, is what I'm feeling. It's of being too reactive, of acting too quick, not being able to temper ourselves and to tune into the long term, the big picture, the purpose for the future, not just the here and now, not just the feeling of pressure here and now, and kind of like thinking that I have to act, I have to take control, I have to change something. What it feels like with the dragonfly is that it's more of a time to step back, to pull back, and to hold space for more kind of water to come in, more consciousness to come in before we take these massive actions. It's almost like the earth isn't quite ready for us to fully live out our purpose. And so it's asking us to reinvest our energy back into ourselves so that we can grow, more, so that we can rise more. So let's see what other cards comes through. I'm going to pull some tarot as well, as per usual. Let's see. And it's interesting because when I was walking into the forest, I don't know if you can hear it actually, but there's a highway a couple of kilometers like in that direction, and I can really hear it for some reason today. It's like really loud over there. And I really had this intense desire to step away from, automatization, everything that's loud and just like automatic, it just goes and goes and goes and goes. It's like, yeah, I prefer peace at this time. It feels like I want to step away from that and step away from the habit and just like the mindless kind of reaction and just like buzzing of just doing the same over and over, and step into a space where I can be more free is what it felt like. And so that's, I think, also a big theme maybe coming up for many. Let's see. Yes, and we got, of course, no surprise here, the Ace of Cups. The importance of holding space is what I get. And I actually want to talk about this Scorpion. The archetype of Scorpio is like, it can be so many different things depending on its density or depending on the pressure that it experiences. On the foundational level, it's kind of the spider, then it can move into the Scorpio, then it can move into the snake, I guess, and then the eagle, and then finally, the dove. And so this feels to me like we are in a time where we have the opportunity to become more and more light, both in terms of density, but also in terms of consciousness itself, awareness, by, like I said, reinvesting into ourselves. But the prerequisite to be able to kind of reinvest into ourselves is that we have this solid space around us. With the Ace of Cups right now, I'm really just drawn to the cup. If you don't have a cup, if you don't have a peaceful space, a place where we can withdraw and be safe and not have to live up to other people's expectation, then we can't really expand our consciousness. It's almost like we're losing a lot of energy, a lot of emotion, by being triggered all the time. It feels like actually this is maybe a little bit of a time where it's beneficial to shelter ourselves a little bit if we feel very much triggered, and to move into spaces where we can be safe and peaceful. So actually what I do feel that is that this might be a time of separation for some people. If there are people in our lives that really does not honor us, that does not kind of respect us or give us the space, this might be a time where we create that separation. It's like with a dragonfly, the ability to float above. Again, it requires that space. If people keep draining our energy, then we keep falling down, It can be very difficult to get this kind of buoyancy if we don't have a space for ourselves. Oh, interesting. We got the Two of Wands with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and the Fool card. Oh, and another hidden card behind the Fool. It was the Five of Wands. So there is still... Oh yeah, and underneath the deck, the Eight of Wands. So a lot of energy coming in with the Eight of Wands. A lot of consciousness, awareness coming in. Again, it's a very potent time because it's like when so much energy, fire, awareness comes into us, it makes everything bubble on the inside. So that's also why this reactive nature Yeah, I just heard a noise. It scared me because I have to be honest, I'm a little bit afraid of the mooses. They can be a little bit aggressive sometimes, so I'm just like cautious of them. So that's why. But anyway, let's continue. There is this reactivity, you know, it's this, like I said, it's this fear from the inside, you know, when you hear a noise, you just react to it and you don't know if you are quite safe, because all of these kind of experiences, I want to say ghosts from the past, are bubbling to the surface so that we become aware of them. Because it's like when these ghosts of the past, when these stories of the past come to the surface, we have an opportunity to decide what we want to do about them. You know, do we want to continue to believe in these ghosts? Do we want to continue to allow the stories of these ghosts to, in a sense, control the perspective, the perception that we have of reality? Or do we want to choose to let go of them and to say that, you know, I hear you, I see you, it's completely fine that you exist, but you do not represent my truth, you know? This is not my higher self. This is a ghost of the past, or this is a fragmented ego aspect. It's not my higher self. And so with the Fool, there is definitely this opportunity of clearing, of becoming foolish again, you know, open, pure, innocent. And with the Wheel of Fortune, it's interesting because when I look at it, I'm getting this, I'm hearing this, don't let your moon get the best of you. You know, don't let your shadow, your subconscious, where these kind of ghosts of the past exist, tell you what to do at this time. It's really that the sun is being highlighted. You know, turn towards the sun is what I'm feeling. Use your awareness to really look closely before you act, before you make the choice. I'm feeling like, look at the root cause, you know, look at the vibration of the narrative that is maybe telling you to do certain things, telling you to act, telling you that I have to do this, or this person is like this, or this person is like that. Really look into the vibration of that narrative is what I'm getting. Because if we do that, it's like we can clear so much karma right now. We can really step into this state of new beginnings. Cancer new moon, creating a fresh space for ourselves. You know, Cancer represents new life. It's the life of the new. And that new life, at least here on Earth, it originates from water a lot of the time, you know. So again, that comes up with the Ace of Cups, creating this peaceful womb where we can just bask in the energy, becoming aware, observing ourselves, making choices for our future, really being aware of what we align ourselves with. That's not a moose, that's some kind of a bird. Yes, of course it had to come up. Strength, the Leo. Look towards the sun. It's like use your awareness. Your awareness to separate, again, the stories of our ancestors, you know, the fear of our ancestors that still kind of lives inside our body. Underneath the deck was the Five of Cups. It's like, don't let that determine your future anymore, is the calling that I'm feeling. Choose to open up like the rose is what I'm getting with the rose here. It's like it's possible to start to blossom now, but it's almost like it has to be chosen within each moment, because there's gonna be triggers everywhere all the time, you know, around us, within us. And so if we are not aware, if we're not centered, if we're not taking the time and creating the space to continuously observing ourselves, our inside, you know, we will unconsciously, or we might unconsciously, just choose to continue to play out the old story. So let's see if we can get some more cards here. Anything else? Interesting. Why is the Death in reverse? It's something to do with the Scorpio. Underneath the deck was the Hierophant. And the Son of Swords is peeking through here. But why is the Death in reverse? Okay, so what I'm getting from this is that, oh yeah, it makes sense now. Okay, so I get it a little bit better. Let me just readjust myself. My leg is falling asleep. It's like what I'm getting with this is that you see here with the Death card that the skeleton is still there. And that's what I've been speaking about. It feels like it's like the ghosts of the past, the ghost stories. It's like the structure that was built on all of this fear, on all of this lack, on all of these ghost stories of the past. That structure still exists. You know, it's like the meat around it, all of the activity that used to be centered around this structure has lessened. But the structure is still there. And so if we are not careful, now is the time when we will kind of try to put the meat back on the old structure, is what I'm getting. And so that is why I feel the Hierophant coming through. Again, it's like, who is your, you know, who is your God? What is your North Star? What are the core values that you as an individual want to stand for as we move into the new world? Is really thinking about yourself as a leader, it feels like, and not being lazy with that is also what I feel. It's really taking that responsibility very seriously, and not, you know, sometimes we can do like, we can say one thing, but then when we get into the situation and we experience the pressure, we do another. That's what I'm feeling that we are kind of cautioned against doing right now, because then we are retying ourselves to our karma, is what I'm getting. And so with the Hierophant, it's like, be really, really mindful about the actions that we speak, and about the actions that we do and the words that we speak, you know, about what we choose to believe in, because we might be retying ourselves to our old karma. It's almost like we might try to start to revive this dead bird and kind of work against nature. And with the Hierophant, it's also like the key is within you, is what I'm getting. this really doesn't feel like a time where we are to follow others, because it's almost like every one of us here on earth right now, we are in a sense a leader. You know, what we are bringing into earth right now is going to be, you know, we're going to see so much more diversity than what we have been used to. And so we need so many more kind of models, you know, so many more stars to guide people into those new archetypes. It's like all of us need to be in our leadership role. In one way or another, we're all gonna be stars for each other. And that is kind of also very much what Capricorn, the archetype of Capricorn, is about. You know, it is the dark winter. It is the darkest time of year. That's when we really realize, when we can connect to our star power. You know, we see our purpose far away. We see the light far away. It hasn't come down to earth yet. You know, we haven't been able to kind of plant those seeds yet. But we see it. We can orient ourselves towards it. And, you know, we know that if we just allow the seasons to pass, if we just allow time to pass, earth to transform, then it will be Aquarius season. You know, it will be time for us to shine that light. And so it really feels like a time of preparation, nurturing ourselves, and making commitments in regards to who it is that you want to become, investing into that person, but also thinking about, you know, what kind of people you want in your life, and not necessarily in terms of the people themselves, because I think that we are all going to go through so many transformations. So everyone is going to change so much in a short amount of time, or at least we have the potential to. But it's more about thinking about the dynamics, you know, that you would like to have with other people. What kind of experiences would you like to have? And then really working on kind of downloading these blueprints into your mind, into your subconscious, into your body, starting to, you know, behave in that way, hold the energy of that new thing. Because what it feels like is that, you know, the sun is slowly setting right now. It's about to get dark, is what it feels like, actually. I have to be honest. It's about to get dark. It's about to get, you know, winter for real now. You know, we had a little taste already this year, but, you know, it feels like it's gonna get darker. And so it's really important that we have our direction, that we don't get lost in the darkness, that we know for sure what we want to invest into, and that we stand strong in that, is what I'm feeling with the Leo and the Hierophant, two really powerful energies of, you know, taking that leadership role very seriously. Yes, so I think that's it. I really wish you peace, and I hope that you have the opportunity to really nurture yourself at this time. So take care, and I see you soon.